Familiar names.
I see Pam as well.
Okay. Hello, Pam. So we've got 3 hosts. Pam, your microphone's on mute at the moment. Pam.
Okay.
Yeah, you've got it. Yeah.
3 hosts and a Tony and a Brit Marie. So hi Tony, hi Brit Marie.
Yeah, hi everybody.
Hello again, Tony. Yeah, and Brit Marie.
Tony.
Good to see
Hi
you
there.
again. Yeah.
And hello Daniel, who's quietly in the background.
Hello again, Daniel. Great. Give it 1 more minute to see if not that we don't want to see you again as old faces, but any new faces, and make sure we welcome them to this sort of the gathering of the Postgraduate Issues Network, such as this is.
People are grabbing a coffee, I should think.
Yeah, this is the lunch break, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
we got that gig.
Sean.
Hello.
Yeah.
Hi.
Hi, Sean.
Well, I guess 1 or 2 might drop in a few minutes' time, although if they live any later, it's almost over, isn't it? Oh, wait a minute. Here comes some.
Alina. Alina's quite new. Oh no, I know Alina now. I know that face.
All right. Welcome, Alina. Yes, you know Pam. Good. And I'm Martin Goff. So with Pam and our new recruit, Paula Nottingham, we're the conveners of the Postgraduate Issues Network, with Julie Reeves, the 4th one, unable to make it at the moment. So that's a sort of by way of introductions of us, the conveners. Yes, Richard Race has left the group in April or May sort of time, wasn't it? So he was around this time last year, but has moved on, and we're back to 4 at the moment. There should always be a turnover of personnel in the network, so I'm sure you'll see an evolving picture. So yes, I'm based at Liverpool University, if you haven't met me before. Paula, do you want to sort of say more about yourself?
Hi, everyone. I'm Paula Nottingham, and I'm from Middlesex University. I've been working with PGR students since about 2014. And I've been an active member of the network, and I'm really chuffed to be a part of it going forward in the next year. So we're also here to listen to new ideas about what people would like to see.
Well, I think Martin and I really wanted to welcome Paula to the network convening as part of this session. So a big warm hug and welcome to a very jolly crowd, I think, at this point. And we have Luna and Mamta joining us as well now. It would, if you are brave enough and would like to, please do put your picture on so that we can recognize you when we meet you in person at some of our sessions.
Hello.
That's really nice.
How is everyone?
Yeah, this is not a talk, so you can sit back and take a back seat, as it were, and relax. And it's everybody's involved if you're here. So yes, that's why we're a quick recap of the last events that the Postgraduate Issues Network ran outside the conference, as most of our events are in between conferences. The last one was end of October, and Julie Reeves, our absent colleague, coordinated that one. It was on international research participation, international research partnerships and the participation in them, the meaning for that for PGR students. And that went very well, although yes, I was otherwise engaged in something I couldn't get out of. Before that, yes, we had maybe it's about 6 month hiatus, and we had a session in February on the doctoral examination, and Pam coordinated that one, and that was in person. So that was the first in person one for a Postgraduate Issues Network for a while, I think, for one thing. So something to celebrate. Perhaps I could say about what's coming up briefly, and Pam, you're revisiting in January the doctoral examination, aren't you? That's I think the next one in the calendar.
Yeah, yes. Well, actually, it's I can't remember now whether it's a PIN or a PDP. And can I just alert people that the office, for some reason that I can't fathom, are unable to jointly badge events. So we either have to be a PDP or a PIN event. Actually, a lot of the PDP events that I've been involved with, and I'm sure Paula and Martin can say the same, tend to be about supervisors or helping students to deal with issues that arise in the doctorate. So please keep your eye on both of those lists, because they will be relevant if you're interested in postgraduate issues at all.
Thanks, Pam. Yes, it's call it a joint event, and the Postgraduate Issues Network is involved in it. And the one following that, it's in early February, yet to be advertised, so I won't confirm the date. Is another joint one, which is with the Higher Education COVID-19 Network, it's called, which is convened by Kate Crothers Thomas and Sharula Sanuku, who's Birmingham City, to our colleagues in the room now from Birmingham City and Oxford Brookes respectively. It's on the doctorate, but yes, again, it's sort of the post-pandemic environment. And then 20th of February, which is in the calendar, is one on the dimension of doctoral study, which is or isn't independence, or and its variant interdependence as well. That's going to be a webinar one on 20th of February. So that's what we've got lined up, and it's coming up the new year fairly sharply. But after that, we haven't got things booked up. We have a plan, and Sean might be able to say something about this to book one in the right time on creative practice in relation to doctoral education. Sean, do you want to say anything more about that?
Yeah, I can't say that much at the moment. I'm guest editing a special issue of Studies in Graduate and Postdoctoral Education on the same theme. Not looking so much of examples of where people have used creative practice, but looking at how the systems and structures of doctoral education are responding to creative practice. It's been a long and quite slow process in terms of papers and reviewers. So we're not quite sure when the special issue will be out yet. It's probably the second issue of next year. And the main journal editors don't want me to do a PIN event until the special issue is launched. So, but I haven't forgotten my commitment, and I promise Pam, Martin, Paula, I will come good on it. It's just taking a bit longer than I'd anticipated.
Sorry, what's the name of the journal, Sean? Sorry.
It's Studies in Graduate and Postdoctoral Education.
Yeah, yes, it's not connected directly to the society, but as the name suggests, it's devoted to graduate education, also the postdoctoral world as well. And so it's a good sort of ally in that sense. And wish you all the best with getting that together, Sean, because I'm sure that will be a good addition to the landscape of research into postgraduate education when it is. So yes, the one reason why we convene these sessions at conference, and we've got one face-to-face at the in-person conference on Thursday evening as well. If anyone's there, see you there as well in Nottingham. But it's to get input from all of you about what sort of things you think, well, what would you like to see as a discussion event? Won't give you a time scale. You know, people give ideas, and it could be 2 years before they actually come to be. Sometimes they come a bit quicker. So sometimes they're really topical, and we get them organised quickly, and other times, you know, they benefit from some rumination and thinking to get a good session together. We respond to you, the sort of things you're interested in, the sort of things you think would be good to have, that would be, you know, the best things to have as discussion events. So that's mainly why we're holding this rather brief discussion. It'll be over in 10 minutes before the next conference session has to get ready for that. So yeah, so as Paul has suggested as well, while you're thinking about that question, what would you like to see and hear, then some of you have done this already. You know, put your contact details in the chat, because we, you know, we'd be good to keep in touch with you as well if you want to keep in touch with us.
Super. Best of luck with your presentation, Mamta.
Thank you. It's on the impact of regulation. So it'll either be super exciting or people will have a lovely nap for 20 minutes during it. I think it's great, but you always think your own research is very interesting.
Is that coming up today, Mamta?
Pardon?
Sorry,
no, I'm going to come up on Wednesday morning. So it's going to be quite a hectic day on Wednesday. I'm going to come straight up and straight into the conference.
Sure.
Yeah, it should be okay, hopefully.
Well, you know some smiley faces now, so.
Yes, that's good. Yeah, that's one of the reasons to come along to some of the online things, is to get a feel for it. It's making me feel much better, much reassured that it'll be fine.
Yes, it will. People are very accommodating, I think. So, and then you will have Paula and Martin around as well to be there. And I'm sure Sean, are you going, Sean? Yes, I thought you would be. Less likely that Brit's going to come over from Sweden, I think. No. And Alina, are you able to go? No.
Oh, dentistry, unfortunately.
Oh dear. Well, we all have those things to suffer at some point, don't we? And Tony, what about you?
Yep, I'll be there, definitely. I'm coming up Wednesday morning, but I'll be there for the session. Yeah.
Okay. And Luna. Don't know if Luna will be able to come, but sure she will. Oh. Okay.
Yeah, but
listen and learn.
Paul, to sort of have another topic of conversation, perhaps. You thought you what sort of got you interested? You've kept linked to the network, and now you've become one of the conveners, and the sorts of events you've managed to get to have been part of that story, isn't it? You were going to.
Oh, well, I didn't know who was going to be here, and I'm so pleased to meet everyone. I think one of the things that, just looking through the more recent history, was this getting involved, and then COVID sort of happened, and then we're sort of getting back into it. But no, I was an older, newer researcher, you see, returning to studies at 39. So I've always felt a little bit out of the game, but I just wanted to mention some of the ones that, and I'm sure you can make this list as well, because it looks like some of you folks have been involved in this group for a little while. But one of the ones that really got to me in the past was that one that Soren gave about darkness. And all of these are up on the SRHE site, and that's the best part of them. And usually articles are involved. It was about darkness and alienation in doctoral education and supervision. It was one of those. It was actually in 2017, but I was there in person at the workshop, and it really got me going. He's such a brilliant guy, brilliant speaker, and they wrote an article about it. I in fact went on to one of the Pathis conferences in Leuven based on that. I mainly teach. I don't do a great deal of writing, but I'm really keen on scholarship as well, and something to get everyone going. I also attended, well, we actually presented on professional doctorates. The link isn't working quite as well as it could, Martin, so it's something to come back to, but I learned about other professional doctorates. That was in 2019, and it was called What is the Professional in Professional Doctorates? And that was really interesting because I got to see folks from other universities and they were doing it differently. And that really stuck out in my mind that, we weren't the only ones and we were doing it in a particular way. And I really liked seeing other people's. If any of you else enjoyed this one, that during COVID, we had that fantastic series during COVID. Julie said that she was a big part of that. It was an international series. Again, all of these are up online. I can get the links in the chat. And there were 5 in a series about COVID, and there was one that I went to where Dr. Susan Porter and Professor Rosemary Deem talked about changes in doctoral education. And they specifically were talking about women in that education. And I know I went to those presentations and I put them right back into supervising. I mean, like the next day. And I think that's the best part about the network is the topics are also pertinent and meaningful that you can go back and use them. And the last one was a couple with Pam, and especially the doctoral assessment and the purpose of the Viva, the Viva. That was a really lively one, wasn't it? And really well attended.
It was, yeah.
I don't know if you want to speak to that one, Pam, but that was great.
Yeah, well, that's a topic which no doubt will reappear again and again. So it takes me to the point of asking people. You said the topics were really relevant and so on. They're really relevant because they come from those of you who are interested in postgraduate education. So that's why we want you to suggest what you think really needs to be talked about now, and what things that really need to have things done about them now. At least we can share ideas and support for each other in trying to do those adventurous things in postgraduate education.
I think that the things I'm interested in, like Paula, you mentioned your own experience at the start there. And I think there's certainly some of the training I do with Vitae. I find sometimes some of the group dynamics are not great. So you'll get people perhaps in their late 20s who've just been through education the whole way through, super ambitious, usually the guys. And then you'll get people who are coming back having worked professionally for quite a while, maybe in health work or social care. They're going back to university. And all of the language that gets used around the ref and impact factor with journals, it's something that switches them off, and they feel like this isn't the space for them, and they're not a proper researcher. And yeah, you can get a not good dynamic happening there sometimes when you mix up people who've been on that straight through academia track with people who are engaging with it more mid-career. So something about the delivery and the design of those sessions to better reflect the diversity amongst postgraduate students, particularly those who are coming mid or later mid-career, who've got so much that they're bringing to it. So I do notice that some of the training materials that I get given by Vitae are not necessarily adapted to that diversity of audiences that we have it now.
I agree with you. I'm not sure I love the word, but I am supposed technically referred to as a pracademic because I spent 9 years as a solicitor and now I teach law. And there is a move towards sort of second or third careers, students coming in from sometimes really quite high-powered and successful careers in practice in their discipline, who find it psychologically quite hard to sort of come back down the pecking order in some way.
Yes, someone who's like a senior manager in the NHS or something, and then suddenly the PhD student,
Yeah, they find it quite hard. There's something, and I can understand there's like sort of a knock to your ego about just being one of them students and being, lumped in with everyone else when you think, oh, I've managed a budget of X million or whatever else. So there is something in that, I think. I don't know whether we should be pandering to that, but I definitely agree it happens.
Thanks. Yes. So, Sean and then Tony have got something to say, because I think we're due to finish pretty immediately. So
Yeah.
quickly, yeah.
It links in, just a heads up, and it does relate to this idea of, I can't find a better word for it, but the non-traditional doctoral candidate. I've just put in for a small amount of QAA curriculum enhancement money, looking at how non-traditional and practice-based candidates engage with concepts around integrity, particularly integrity in academic writing practice, working with University Alliance. So if we're lucky and they give us the small amount of money to employ some PGRs, I'll be reaching out to the network for suggestions and thoughts about how we can take that work forward, but also maybe an event. I'm reluctant to volunteer for a second one when I haven't delivered the first one I promised. Yeah,
but there's plenty of time.
Tony, do you want to put something in?
Yeah, I think it's a common experience on the idea about working with practitioners who come, non-traditional students, as it were, people who are very high. There may well be senior managers in colleges, they may well be head teachers in schools, they may well be senior HE staff and senior nursing staff, and then when they come in, they kind of, it's a snake. One described it as snakes and ladders. They go straight down the snake, and they're at the bottom of the research kind of pile. So that's quite an experience. But one thing worth reflecting on in terms of maybe future sessions is something on neurodiversity and the doctorate, and particularly there's something we're coming across is late inverted commas diagnosis. People who are coming back to research, and our guys will be in their 30s and 40s, who suddenly have a diagnosis of neurodiversity and something that they put a name on something that they've known about for years, and it's quite a thing. So I think something about neurodiversity and the doctorate, neurodiversity and the Viva and so forth. There's something going on there that we need to pin down a bit.
Thanks. That's come up before. Yes.
That's very interesting.
Yeah. Thanks.
Yeah. If we have a minute, can I just say, most of my 60-odd doctoral research students were older professional people. And when I moved to Reading, I was astounded at the way they were responded to by everybody, including the guys who looked after the estates. So, and I remember on one occasion, an irate chappie coming out and telling somebody off who was only a student, parking in the car park near my office at 7 o'clock at night. And he was berated for doing that. And I then told the person involved, excuse me, but this is a chief superintendent in the Met, and he's come to see me on professional business. He may be a student, but he's also a high up person. And it took me about 3 years to get them to actually treat doctoral students of whatever nature as if they were human beings, because they were used to just treating them as nuisance bodies called students.
Exactly.
Yeah. But yeah, I shall remember that one for the rest of my life. His face when I said he was a chief super in the Met. He wasn't very pleased either, I can tell you. So I think those are very useful comments, and we've already got some suggestions for future going forward, Martin and Paula, and let's hope we can bring those together. It's very good that, Sean, you're volunteering twice. You get a star for that. But others of you will come along and talk. And that's really important, that we do have some more face-to-face sessions if at all possible, because I think those mixed sessions where you've got people coming back to study along with the newbies bring some degree of excitement into the situation. But it's much better face-to-face than it is online. You know, people don't always want to join in when they're relatively new, when it's online. So I think let's have some more face-to-face ones.
You're right. It's about the pin session. We're going to do the same sort of thing, but we've got longer when we have the face-to-face session on Thursday evening. So we'll be collecting more ideas about how to sort of form the program over the next how many years it will take to put the program together, have one topic after another. We typically about on average 3 a year, so you know we're not going to be doing it week on week or anything like that normally. So our program is thank you for your input. The program is being taken forward with new ideas and some old ones too. Now with just sort of 3 minutes to the plenary, and those who want to get to there, maybe we should.
Yes, we need to move over. There's complications of moving our mouse. Yeah.
Thanks very much, everyone.
Okay, thanks for.
Thank you. Thanks for coming.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Thanks, Daniel.
Can we slide from one to the other, or do we have to go and click on the other one now?
We've got a different link, I think, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Right. Slide then.
Okay.
Have fun, guys.
Thanks, Daniel. Right.
Martin, just to check, were you able to save the chat, or?
Well, I pressed it. Yes. The file normally appears after the meeting's closed, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Not sure.
I did some I do it little bit by little bit, Daniel, if that's a backup.
Yeah, great.
Yeah. Great. Lovely.
Backups, yeah.
See you anon.
Okay.
Bye.